1. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2, and we are doing a subscriber spotlight tonight. With us, we have Jenine and also my lovely moderator, Julie. And I think I'm going to first, Julie, say hi so they get to see you.
Hi, guys.
Okay, thank you. And Jenine, welcome, and thank you for being one of those brave souls that was willing to go on camera and just chat with us and let us get to know you and put a face with the person we see commenting. Where are you from, and how would people in my channel know you?
I am from, which you probably can tell from my accent, I am from East Tennessee, and you may know me on your site as #1 Patriotic Voice. I made that name about November the 8th. So I can be a little boisterous.
That's okay.
Sometimes.
We like patriotic voices, not a problem. I do know that you, because by the virtue of the fact that you watch my channel, you've got to be to some degree awake. And I was wondering if you'd like to share with everybody a little bit about how that happened for you, because with all of us, it's a little different process.
My awakening has been slow in some ways. I'm going to go ahead and share this anyway. In 2001, I worked as a nurse, and I went to work for this physician that was in oncology, and I was a new nurse, but I had just had a small, I just had a baby. So I had to find a certain job with certain hours. And her job was the only one I could find with those hours because my child was on an NG tube 23 hours a day, 24 push meds, open heart surgeries. So I had to work for this doctor. And even though I walked in her office the first time, I could feel it in my bones. There was something wrong. I was so scared. And I knew I didn't know why I was so scared. I thought, well, I kept pushing it off, thinking, well, it's a new job. It's a new field I'm going into. And I knew in my head, you're telling yourself one, because I've always had these feelings and I've been able to do a few things. We'll just say that for now. And I knew something was bad wrong. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it anyway. It just may be me. So the first day, I knew it wasn't me. And a month and a half later, I had enough on her to put her in prison for 15 years. So I knew right away that everyone that went into the field wasn't going into it for what I was going into it for. I wanted to help the world get better, help people get better, But we found out, I found out at the end of the last day, that's when we got into it the worst. She had put chemotherapy powder in my peanut butter that I was eating in the lounge. And she tried to murder me, is what it was. She was afraid I would testify against her. And that's what I did, because the good Lord seen that I did. And she was killing people pretty much for money.
Wow.
She was taking everything they had, telling people that they had cancer when they didn't, giving them chemo, because chemotherapy, which you're not told, we're not even told in nursing school, some of us aren't, that chemotherapy causes cancer. Okay, if you're around a person that's had chemo, you can be exposed to it and get cancer. You're not told these great details back then. And when I found the peanut butter like that, and I went to another oncologist and I asked him, and he said, "Oh no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It'll all go away. You'll be fine." And years later, I wasn't fine. I wasn't fine anywhere after that. Complete hysterectomy. 8 years later, That's after suffering a lot. Infertile after that, couldn't have no more kids. And now I was just diagnosed the 23rd of December with breast cancer. So
Wow. And it probably all ties back to that
it does.
horrible
You have
employment
10
experience.
stages. Yes, it does.
Yeah. But you
No.
testified against that doctor and she's no longer practicing?
I did testify against that doctor. And I can remember the last thing I said to her. Her lawyer tried to confuse me and make it look like it was my fault. But I had gotten so angry that I'd zoned out where I was at. And I guess that's what happens whenever you mess with a bull. Somebody that's born in April with it stubborn. But the judge, what woke me up was when her lawyer looked at the floor and I heard laughter everywhere. And it was the jury and the judge and all the federal agents and state agents. And then I sat back down in my seat because I had raised up and was sticking my finger in his face. I said, "You don't tell me I don't know, what cancer is. I've watched my family die from it. I've watched my best friend die from it." And yeah, that's when I started waking up.
Yeah.
Mind if I ask what kind of oncologist she was? Was she a general oncologist? Was she older? Was she younger? Was she married? Did she have a family? I mean, what kind of person is this?
She was one of the most evil people, I think. When I stood next to her, my bones rattled. I could tell how evil she was. Um, she told me that my child shouldn't have made it. And she did not like children or little ones at all. She was married, although he was a radiologist. He was also a doctor. So when patients were told they had cancer but didn't, I wonder how they were shown they had cancer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were a
Yeah.
team. They were working together for some money, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I
She's
was,
out.
So you
Oh.
obviously have some intuitive gifts.
mhm.
You're learning to listen to that intuitive voice of yours. Are there any other abilities that you feel like you have that you could develop now that you're more aware of them?
I do, which there's some things that's kind of, I've been able to do most of my life. I just haven't shared it with a lot of people.
And you don't have to today. It's only what you're comfortable sharing, okay? Just so you know.
I don't care to share it anymore.
Okay.
Um,
Intuition's enough. That's a good survival tool that I think that's one of the reasons that as we get more aware of our abilities, that seems to be the most common one that comes out because it's so tied to survival. You know,
mhm.
is especially as the lines between good and evil get less gray, more black and white.
Yeah.
You need to be able to know that even though this person's smiling, you need to be on guard. You need to remove yourself, whatever. I think it's really, really important. So,
Well, obviously, God put you in her path not to have this horrible thing happen to you, but he put you in that path, and maybe you were the only one that could do this and to bring her to justice. You know what I mean? Maybe there was nobody else that could put her at justice, only you. And
Well, there was 13 other nurses that testified. I was just the last to testify because I had kept up with every drop of everything and I wrote it in a separate book and kept it.
yeah,
So I knew something was wrong and I knew what she was doing after, a few days because I even charted and she took the papers and slapped me over the head with them. Chart, she said, I chart. You get me in trouble. She was from another country. She was middle-aged and she said Americans are stupid. She'll be rich before she's 50.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow. So now, to my way of thinking, you're a hero. I mean, there's no telling how many lives you and those other nurses saved by coming forward and testifying. But I did want to ask before, we say, thank you so much for your time. I mentioned in one of my videos that I think everybody has a claim to fame. Do you feel like this is yours, or is there something else you would like to just say, this is my claim to fame, this is what separates me a little bit from everybody else?
I don't really feel like it's fame. I feel like I've been put here for something important and I can't figure out what that is. I saw when I was 7, I've always felt really, really close to Jesus ever since I was a little girl. And I don't know why, but I do. I was sitting in the yard playing with Barbie dolls one day, and a ray of light shone through the clouds, and here he came. I met him when I was 7. And that light that surrounds him, you have no concept of pain when you're in that light. You don't even know what that means. All you feel is blissful, peaceful, the most warmth of love you can feel. And there's nothing else that you know. And I don't know. I just feel like there's something else I'm supposed to do,
Mhm.
which
And it may
scares
just
me
not be
now.
time. It may just not be time. I had that feeling for a lot of my life, and it's only been the last couple of years. And especially as I got going with the channel and doing a tarot from a very good, spiritual place, that I feel like, okay, this is what I was waiting to find out about. So sometimes it takes a while. It really does. So you are facing some health challenges, probably a direct
Mhm.
result of that wonderful experience with that doctor.
Yeah.
And um, I just know that a lot of people watching this are going to be sending you lots of positive energy. I'm going to encourage anybody watching this to have intentions of health and healing, and just the best possible outcome for Jenine as she faces the challenges that she's facing, so that she can not have her focus simply be on health, but on growth and joy and all the good things in life. Because I know your family is really important to you, and there's a lot left for you to do.
You're a very special person, and that's evident. And you're one brave woman, and you're a warrior. I feel it. And I send you all my love because I've seen what cancer can do, and
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that there's doctors out there like that, but there are. And I think if you just know that you have a support family here, and we love you, and you can lean on us, and we're going to kick some butt together.
Well,
But
I intend to.
I know,
And if you'd
yeah,
ever
when
like to
you
come
need,
back on and have another spotlight, I didn't mean to talk over you. I'm so sorry, Julie. If you'd ever like to come back and give us an update and tell us how you're doing, you're more than welcome to join us again at some later date.
Mhm.
And just want to throw that out there. And then, Julie, please finish your thought.
I just want to say, when you've got faith forward, you're going to starve out that fear, and no fear in this, because you're going to get through this, and you're just a beautiful light. So thank you. It's a pleasure to see you and meet you.
Yeah.
And God bless you. We pray for you.
This is just another instance of we need those med beds sooner, not later, so that we can have non-invasive vibrational frequency healing and get rid of something that shouldn't even be on the planet, which is cancer. So on that note, which isn't all that cheery, except thinking of the cures that may be coming this way and hopefully sooner, I'm going to say thank you so much for being on our show, Jenine. And Julie, thank you for joining us and helping to make a good tribe of women here as we got to know someone. And people watch for, tell us again, is it First Patriot Lady in the comments?
It's Oh, now I'm so confused. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's first patriotic voice. It's number
First-
one.
Okay,
It's
number
got a
one.
number one patriotic voice.
Got it. So watch for her in the comments and say those prayers and intentions, and let's send positive, protective, and healing energy to this beautiful lady. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.